Everyone, it is Tuesday, Tuesday 5:27 a.m. For everyone who doesn't know, I've been getting to the office about that early every single day. This is kind of a weird day where I'm having a meeting at Starbucks and actually beat them. They're not even open yet, but beat everybody here. It's going to be a good day. But I've been getting to the office extremely early. As I said before, our team is rapidly growing, and I found just recently that if I'm not really putting in more than 12 hours a day, I'm gonna fall behind. It's actually kind of shocking how much work piles up in just a day, how many deals that we're looking at. Of course, we have some new team members brought onto the team that we're training as well. And so it's just a rapid growth phase that we've been in really for the last few months. Or maybe even ever since I started these videos about 8 months ago. It's kind of crazy to think that I've been doing these Facebook Lives for 8 months. But the team is in a rapid growth phase, which has led me to working 12 plus hours a day. Don't get me wrong, I absolutely love it. I love waking up early. I love the just accountability and discipline of it. The private Facebook group that I'm going to be starting, it's going to be geared almost entirely around that. That's what I'm passionate about, is surrounding myself with other like-minded individuals who want to become their fullest and best self and are going to hold each other accountable and help each other push to become whatever version of themselves that is. So that's super exciting. But what this video is about, yesterday, I start by saying that I believe there's just a certain way to do things in business. And one of the reasons that we've had so much success is because I operate this way, because Sam operates this way. And it's really, again, setting really clear expectations and trying to provide value in everything you do. You should never seek to take unless you are giving in abundance. Give in abundance, don't expect anything back, and usually value finds you. It's kind of an odd thing about how it circles back around. But just seek to provide value any way that you can, and then people naturally want to respond. They naturally want to provide value back to you. I mean, that's just human nature. But the real life example from yesterday of just an example of how I operate. We're buying this office building, and we've got a lender lined up. We're pre-approved. Everything's good to go. So there's no questions on that end. We've got the money in our account. We're not raising investor money for this one. We're just buying it. We just want the space. We're going to office out of it. And I was talking to my lender yesterday, and he just mentioned that, hey, I think the appraisal is running a little bit behind. We don't know if we need an extension yet, but just be on the lookout. So I think normally, does that warrant a call to the seller? Should I let the seller know? I feel like most people would say no, or don't bring it up until you know it's going to be an issue, and there is some validity to that. But I also think there's a ton of validity to being 100% transparent in everything you do. So I've always operated, whenever I get a call like that, especially now that if you've been in the game long enough, you know that whenever you start talking about extension, you're almost always going to need an extension. I don't know if I've ever started talking about extension with a banker and then not end up needing one. But I went ahead and called him. And yeah, I didn't have to do it. It wasn't a fun conversation. I mean, they really wanted to close on a certain date, and I don't blame them. I do too. But went ahead and called him and said, hey, I don't know if we're going to need this, but I want to go ahead and start setting expectations that we might. Here's what's going on, and I'm going to keep you in the loop. And I just think that there's a ton of value that comes from that, especially when you approach it as not trying to take something without giving something. And what I mean by that is any time that you're going to ask for an extension or ask something for a seller, it really can't be one-sided. There has to be some give and take when you're asking for an extension or asking for a repair or asking really for anything. You've got to make it as easy for them as possible and try to provide value. Even when you're asking them to give back value, you've still got to be providing value. You can't just be asking to take and take and take and take. And with an extension, that's a super easy one. You just offer more earnest money. And because I led with that, and not even sure if I need the extension yet. They said, absolutely not. You don't need to put up any more earnest money. We're good to go. If we need an extension, of course, we want to close on this date, but we'll just extend it. And again, I don't even know if I need it yet, but now, whenever that time comes, if I do need it, I'm gonna be able to get the extension, no problem. The seller and I are on great terms, and this project's gonna be moving forward like without a hiccup. So again, there's just a certain way to operate. I always default toward just being 100% transparent, telling people about problems even before they might exist, just so they can expect them, because I don't want anybody blindsided at the very end. Like, the more time you give someone when you're delivering bad news, if you can soften that blow with providing value as well, if you're asking for something, provide value yourself, because that's all people want. Like, it's just providing a win-win, and you can't do that if you're always just trying to take and not give. So next time you're in a buy or sell agreement, just kind of remember this. You don't have to operate this way, but I believe that'll lead to a lot more successful closings, a lot more buyer and seller relationships after the close, which is extremely important for continuing to buy real estate in a small town like Tulsa. You can't be on bad terms with the seller, because they might own another 20 houses or something. So thanks everybody for watching. Starbucks just opened. I'm gonna go get to work. It is 5:34 now, and let's make it a great day on the path to 10 homes per month.